Mike Avery's Outdoor Magazine is brought to you in part by the Outdoor Magazine radio show and podcast.
Okay, so this third stand, our fourth night of the hunt. Again, we had not been there before. I hadn't even, I don't think, been down this road before. Pete took us in because you really can't describe where these are. At least the first time in, you have to have Pete or one of the guides take you to show you where it's at.
This is, it's in a jack pine plantation. It's on a new area. This area hasn't been hunted in about 8 years. It's a new bait, but it's been super active, so pretty confident you'll see bears tonight.
And the only place to set up a ground blind, and we had the Ameristep Dominator with us at this point, was kind of up on a hill on this great big rock. This rock must have been 10 feet across. So we managed to get the blind set up there, and actually it was a great setup. We had a good view of the bait. It blended in very well. We were quite comfortable.
All right, as we do some last-minute preparations here in the blind, Jim's cleaning the lens off the camera to make sure everything's good to go. This is day 4 of our hunt here in northern Ontario with Pete Jones and Superior Bear Outfitters. We've moved to yet another new spot. This one, Jim and I are both very excited about this. Lots of sign of big bears. We've got a real neat setup here. The blind is in the perfect spot. We got a beaver tied to a tree in front of us, and you know, beaver are bear candy. So I think, I don't want to jinx this, but I think this is the night.
Okay, about 7 o'clock. We've been sitting there several hours now. About 7 o'clock, a bear comes in from the left. He's coming into the bait. And it appears out of nowhere like they do when the bush is so thick like this. I looked at this bear and immediately I said, not only shooter bear, I said, big bear. This is a nice bear. The bear came in, sniffed around a little bit, looked at us. I know he knew we were there, and decided he didn't want any part of us. And he wandered off into the bush. I thought, oh boy, is this the only time we're going to see this bear? I mean, it looked like he was a trophy bear. What little, the quick look I got at him, and I thought, boy, I hope he doesn't wander back off into the bush and stay there. I was cautiously optimistic, though, because we had that beaver tied to that tree. And the first time the bear came through, he was sniffing that beaver. You knew he wanted to get at that thing. So I thought, if anything's going to bring him back in, that beaver will. And it did. Okay, so I know I've got a good shot. If anything, it's a couple of inches high, but it's a good shot, and I'm confident that that animal is down. But we didn't hear a death moan. You don't always hear that with a bear, but it gives you a certain level of confidence when you go off tracking a bear. If you've heard that death moan, you know he's down.
All right. Here's my arrow. Carbon Express, Maxima Hunter. F-15 expandable broadhead. As you can see, it passed through. Smells good. Look at this. Think these bears are eating good? Wow.
Started to get a little bit nervous, though, because at first I wasn't finding a lot of blood. A little bit here, a little bit there, but we stayed on the track, stayed on the trail, and eventually he opened up. Then we saw a good blood sign. It was much easier to follow. After maybe 75 yards, how can you tell when the bush is so thick? About 75 yards, I saw him up there laying on his side. You know, the thing about bears, every bear I've ever shot, when you got up to it, there was some ground shrinkage. They look a lot bigger on all fours than they do laying there dead. Not this time. Walked up to this bear, and I knew right away I had a trophy. Not bad. It's not a bad bear. Well, we found him. It was a long tracking job, but I'd say it's worth it, wouldn't you? Look at the size of this bear. This is a big, beautiful Northern Ontario black bear, taken with Pete Jones and Superior Bear Outfitters. In my mind, I knew he was over 300 pounds. I was thinking, boy, maybe if I can get 350, that's going to be where it goes. Now, 350 pounds is a nice black bear. They come bigger, but a 350 pound black bear is a nice animal. We got him back to the skinning shed and put him on a scale, because at Superior Bear Outfitters, there is no lying about bear size. Well, there might be some lying, but everybody knows how much their bears weigh. Well, here's the bear I shot last night. I just wanted to give you a little better look at him in the daylight. 334 pounds on a scale, big belly, even some gray hair. He kind of reminds me of myself. You know, that Dart and Serpent LTD-2 crossbow is just a phenomenal weapon. I've had such great luck with that. The Carbon Express Maxima Hunter shafts, the F-15 expandable heads, they all combine to do a great job. Thanks to Pete Jones, Superior Bear Outfitters, everybody up here, a great operation. I can't recommend them enough. If you're looking for a bear hunt in Ontario, I would check out Superior Bear Outfitters. Thanks to Pete, and as always, again, thank you, God, for a beautiful, beautiful trophy.